Hey there, welcome back. This is Steve Larson, and today I want to talk a little bit more about our wealth building strategy. Now, in our last video, we talked about what is wealth, and we defined it as it's more a function of time than it is anything else. Most people, when they think of wealth, they think of wealthy things like luxurious things. They think of being on the beach. They think of having that Ferrari, that Rolls Royce, whatever car, whatever, a Learjet. Those are all luxuries. Those are all nice things to have. But wealth is really a function of time. How long can we live with the assets that we have accumulated or the cash flows that we've accumulated? And so if we had $500,000 in the bank and we were spending at $10,000 a month, then we could go, for 50 months, right? So that's a function of wealth. Now, how do we bring this to your retirement plan? How does this make a difference to you? All right, so we also talked about beginning with the end in mind, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. So throughout all of the financial documentation, through the PhDs, all the research says that you have to only take 4% out of your retirement accounts or retirement assets. Otherwise, the probability of running out of money is very high. In these articles that you see here on the screen, it's saying that the 4% rule is even too high, and that going forward, they may not produce suitable returns necessary to assure that the 4% rule works over the long term. So what this means is if you've worked really hard and you've accumulated $1 million of assets, then if you take the 4% rule, that means you can only pull out $40,000 a year without the risk and probability working against you that you'd be running out of money in the long term. They're now saying that it's more like 2.8%. It's like, what is this? Are you kidding me? And it's because of the low yield curves and things like that we're seeing right now. So out of every $1 million, these professionals are saying that you can only pull out $28,000 a year. Now, I don't know what that is like for your certain circumstance, but that kind of sounds daunting, right? So if you go back, just for ease of conversation, if you go back to the 4% rule, if you have $1 million saved, that's $40,000 a year. 2 million, that's 80,000, and so on and so forth. So really, to get to a lifestyle where you can enjoy some luxuries, go on some vacations, have a nice home, you need to get north of that $200,000 a year. That's $5 million you need to have inside of your accumulated assets to make sure that you don't run out of money. Now, there's some other forces that are working against us as well. We've got interest, so things are getting, inflation. So you have the cost of living increasing. With the government printing all this money out there, we're either going to pay for it in inflation or taxes or both, right? And so we have to be able to cover both of those. Now, in the next video, I'm going to talk about if you have these assets in the market at risk, how this can even hurt you even more. We're going to go into this chart a little bit more in our next video. And so I hope you join me and go through that next one with us. So stay tuned.